Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. This is the 89th video on my video journal series. Today's day is Friday, the 8th of May, 2026. How's everyone been? I've been pretty good, thank you. And something I want to discuss with you today is that experience when you order on the McDonald's self-serve kiosk machines and you don't get the receipt back. Now, I've had this issue happened to me plenty of times. I mean, I went to McDonald's today. I didn't order anything. I just looked on the menu. But even though I didn't order anything, I still looked at the receipt machine attached to those self-serve kiosks. And usually, once you place your order, pay for it, it'll print out a receipt. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. I've had plenty of instances where I do order McDonald's on those self-serve kiosks, and yeah, you don't get the receipt, and that's because the receipt roll is dry. It hasn't been replaced. It's run out. So, yeah, it does make it quite problematic if you paid for your order, but you have no evidence to, show to the team member at front counter when you do pick up your order. You don't even know what the order number is. You don't know what number's yours on the screen. So, yeah, like, even though I didn't order anything, it just brought me back to um, that time. I believe I was in, could it be in New Zealand or here in Australia? It was some McDonald's store. Most likely it could be in New Zealand. Um, or even, I think it happened to me once in the Circular Quay McDonald's store where I went in, ordered something, but then the receipt didn't print out. So I had to like go to front counter and say, yeah, I ordered this, show them my bank transaction history, but yeah, they got my order, and they was like, "Oh yeah, here we go." You can see we can see that you clearly paid for it, but yeah, it is like quite concerning, and that's why I always order at like the front counter if I can. If it's not insanely busy, I'll order at front counter. But otherwise, you gotta look at all those machines and see if there's a little bit of paper sticking out. But if there's no paper in the system, then the system should detect if there's no paper in the receipt roll. So it should be like, all right, if there's no paper in the receipt roll, we're going to do a mini system test. If there's none, then we're going to shut off the system or notify a team member to refill the rolls. Like, don't have a customer pay for something but they don't get out a receipt. You know, um, I believe KFC, Hungry Jacks, they do it the right way. They don't print out receipts, but rather they show you like a QR code where you can scan your phone and they show you like the order number on the screen. I think that's 1,000 times better than the system that McDonald's has. And with KFC, Hungry Jacks, I'm pretty sure you can put your name on the kiosk. So even if they don't call out a number, they can just call out your name, which is like a lot easier because you don't have to remember a specific number, but you can just like go, oh yeah, order for Joshua. Yep, that's me. Um, so I think KFC and Hungry Jacks, they do it perfectly, the self-serve kiosk. So maybe have the option to print out a receipt, but showing a QR code goes like a long way, really. It goes a long way. McDonald's, they don't even show you a QR code. They just like say, all right, have a good day. Hopefully your receipt's printed out. So yeah, I did go inside McDonald's, just looked at the menu, but it really did bring me back to you know, that experience of going to a McDonald's. Always specifically McDonald's though, because I know they're like quite a busy restaurant, but it brought me back to that experience of, oh yeah, crap, there's no receipt. There's no receipt, so yeah, you're pretty much screwed and you have to ask someone at front counter. And bet you if you can like name your exact order and show them like a bank transaction statement or whatever, they'll be like understanding. But it's just I guess poor design, really. At least display a QR code on it. That's all I'm asking McDonald's is put a QR code on the self-serve kiosk machines, and everything will be chill. Really, everything will be fine. In fact, things will actually be a lot better. So anyway, really, yeah, like I rarely use the self-serve kiosks unless I really, really have to. But I always like ordering at front counter, just for that exact reason. And, obviously, be trying to cut down my consumption of fast food. So that's why I don't really go to McDonald's as much as I used to, or KFC or Hungry Jack's for that matter. Um, because, yeah, like fast food is getting expensive here in Australia. And obviously, I don't want to have to deal with McDonald's receipt uh, thing again. So, yeah, I don't really go to much fast food places. Um, but, you know, that being said, I do like having fast food maybe once in every couple or so weeks or once every month, sort of thing. Um, but like, I like to be like somewhat healthy, maybe Sushi Hub or um, I know Subway isn't exactly the most healthiest. Maybe Subway was a bad example. I know their bread has a high amount of sugar inside. Um, Man, what other? I guess GYG. I haven't been to a GYG in forever, man. It must have been a very long time. Um, but they're pretty alright, and at least their ordering system is quite straightforward. I don't think those places have self-serve kiosks. Um, no, you just go up there and order, which I like. Not to say self-serve kiosks are bad or anything, but I think they just have very poor implementation in restaurants. Even the restaurants that I praised, KFC, Hungry Jack's, they do have like mini bits that make me, a little bit irritated. I know the Hungry Jack's one allows you to pay with cash at the front counter, which is nice, but I don't think the KFC one does that. And the fact that you got to scroll and there's no like search bar menu, you got to go through each of the individual categories, and it is quite annoying. Um, and the fact that like some of the machines are quite faulty, and the fact that if you press over there, the system recognizes that you press over there, and I'm like, no, I don't want a Zinger Burger. I want a Twister, but no, it automatically goes to the Zinger Burger option. Has anyone had that? I have found the screens to be a little bit finicky in the past, but um, you know, I guess that's just the quote unquote downside of the self ordering system and the receipt. Obviously, when you order something, you pay for something, but no receipt prints out, which is really annoying. But man, what else? Oh yeah, I guess with like now I can make a little bit more fast food themed. Um, I mean, this video journal entry as more fast food themed. I guess fast food, it's within its name, it is fast. Quality might not be good as like let's say a restaurant, but it can still be pretty alright. I like going to fast food in like foreign countries and just seeing all the regional menu items. I think I've mentioned this before on this channel, but places like Japan and New Zealand. Um, Burger King in Japan was pretty good. I would like to go to Burger King in Japan at least one more time in my life. Um, but yeah, I guess um, man, did yeah, I remember the Burger King stores in Japan had self service. I'm pretty sure nearly all the fast food places in Japan had self service. As for New Zealand, they did, and I remember. Sorry, it's just like my headband, hairband. Sorry, it's getting very itchy. There we are. Um, no, I got to leave it like that. Sorry about that. It's just that I got my hair in a ponytail and it's really starting to hurt. But um, yeah, when I went to New Zealand, the thing that shocked me is that most of their Hungry Jack's stores have self-serve drink refills. They keep the soda machine within the public vicinity, so you can get free refills. That was the best fast food experience I've ever had in New Zealand. Because I was like, yeah, unlimited drink refills at Burger King. So that's what they call it over there, Burger King. But like, man, just class act, New Zealand. Never get rid of those self-serve soda machines, New Zealand. All right, don't get rid of them. That's the reason why I'm going back to your country maybe in a couple of years' time. But yeah, and I guess like Hungry Jack's stores here in Australia used to have self-serve soda machines, but not anymore. Um, Now they're all just behind a counter. Maybe because just to limit fraud, quote unquote, when someone asks for a water cup, but then they fill it up with soda. But whenever I went to Hungry Jack's, um, we'll get a meal and obviously we'll pay for the soda and all. And I used to remember getting like five refills of like Fanta raspberry. Oh my god. I only wish I could bring back those days, getting unlimited refills for stuff that cost like $1 per liter. Or maybe not even dollar, just like mere cents per liter. You gotta love it. But yeah. Hmm. I guess Yeah, I guess who really gets receipts for fast food restaurants anyway? Apart from like when you order, does anyone keep the receipts? Because most people they just give it to the staff member, or they just chuck it out once they got their food. But I always like keeping the receipts to fast food restaurants and just places in general. Really, um, receipts can act like as a sort of momentum. Oh, not momentum, sorry, but like memento, if you will. Just like you might dig through your, I guess, files and your cupboard or whenever you keep your receipts, and you're like, oh yeah, I ordered McDonald's 20 years ago on this day. I remember my dad kept all his movie receipts and a lot of receipts from all the places he went to, shops and fast food and all that. Um, and yeah, like it's just magical looking back on stuff that old, even if it's just like even if it's just like a movie ticket from 20 years ago. In fact, I actually found my dad's old movie ticket when he went to go see the first Fast and Furious movie that released here in Australia in 2001. And without that movie receipt, I would have never known that he watched the first ever Fast and Furious movie. Um, and I guess movie receipts or movie tickets or whatever you like to call it, I guess a lot more people will keep that as like a sort of, I guess, gift or souvenir. Maybe less so with fast food receipts, but um, yeah, I keep my fast food receipts. I've mostly been keeping them for a couple of years now. I found a big W receipt in my wallet from like 10 years ago, which is nice. Um, but yeah, I guess with fast food receipts, no one really claims fast food as a business expense. Maybe like a very small portion of people, but always like keeping fast food receipts. That is, if I can get a fast food receipt from McDonald's self-serve kiosk machines, I will not let that slide. All right. Um, I guess I want wrap this video up because I've been talking about receipts all day. Yeah, I guess as much as it is a nice feature, to go to McDonald's and order on those self-serve kiosk machines and not speak to anyone, just get your food in peace. Um, at least for many people, that is. I just prefer speaking to someone about it. But like, um, you know, I guess for a lot of people it is convenient, but it's also a hassle when the paper or receipt doesn't print out. And then you're like, oh crap, now I have to explain my situation to the person at front counter and have like a 50-50 chance of buying it. But most of the time, I argue they are, look, understanding, but it does add some risk. There is some risk attached whenever you order on the self serve kiosk machines. And that's why I think McDonald's should just have like a barcode. And they just show you a barcode, you can scan it with your phone, and they give you the option of printing out a receipt, or you can just type in your name, um, and or maybe just give them the option to pay up front counter. The more options, the better, I guess. And I think McDonald's is the only fast food restaurant, where if you like get rid of stuff on your burger or from your order, it ends up being a little bit cheaper. I don't think KFC or Hungry Jack's do that. I think most McDonald's stores do that system. I might be wrong. Maybe it's been a while, but yeah, I used to remember when I went to McDonald's. If you got rid of certain condiments, your order will be a little bit cheaper. I don't know if they. I think they still do that, but yet again, who knows? Things are always changing every single day. Um, and I wonder what like a McDonald's store would look like in 20 years' time. If you look at a McDonald's store from 2006, you can see it was very different to what we have here in 2026. But I wonder what it will look like in 2046. Who knows? Um, and also, I wish more McDonald's stores brought back the trays for like dining in, but now they just give you a bag. They don't give you a tray. Apparently, that stopped around COVID time, though. I do notice that some McDonald's stores still have the trays if you request it, but there's a fair chunk that still um, don't serve meals on trays anymore. But the ones I went to in Japan, they all had the trays, and even in New Zealand, they still have the trays. So why not here in Australia? Why not more McDonald's stores serve you on trays? Is beyond me. But anyway, um, I guess yeah, that's all I really have to say. And before I leave, I know this is a quite a shorter video, but truth be told, I really do need to get this out on time. Wise tip for today is to be healthy. Eat lots of veggies or uh, eat a lot of healthy stuff. You are what you eat. Obviously, I'm not a dietitian or anything like that, but you know, you got to eat what works for you, and get plenty of exercise and rest. And most importantly, when you go to McDonald's, always check if there's paper in the self-serve kiosk machines. Either that or play it safe and just order at front counter. Anyway, that's what I have to say. Bye. See you all next time. Take care. See you all tomorrow.